This is February in Oklahoma, and everything's looking pretty brown and dead right now, but we know it comes back in the summer, and we're itching for spring to start planting stuff. But to hold you over until then, we have a garden tour that we did actually this last summer of July 2021 with the Osage Nation out at their Harvest Land project. And it's just an amazing greenhouse, aquaponics, distillery, kitchen, now farmers market, whole setup that they've done. And we had the really amazing opportunity to go out there and tour it and get to talk to some of the people and hear what their plans and vision is for the future. They did provided a lot of food for the production of Killers of the Flower Moon, and that's how we got hooked up with them as well, was through the catering crew. Anyways, it's awesome. Sorry for the delay, but we hope that it helps fill this gap for whoever else is like us, just waiting for things to turn green, and that you enjoy. Hey, this is Amanda from Ragtag Resilience, and we are touring Harvest Land today in Osage Nation out in Pawhuska, Oklahoma. It is hot and sweaty and humid, but the supervisor of the greenhouses here is going to give us an amazing tour to get to see what's happening here. The Osage Nation is doing a lot of amazing things to become more resilient, both through COVID and after it and long into the future. And so we just want to see what's happening and learn from them and celebrate what's happening for the Osage people. And anyways, hope you'll come along. It's amazing. Okay, and this is Dawn, and she's head greenhouse?
I'm supervisor.
Supervisor?
Of the farm.
Okay, and she's going to show us, so we're on this is the Osage Nation's property and investment, and she's going to show us around. It's amazing. So we just can't wait to see it and just want to share more resilience with everybody else as we keep learning and growing. So
Great.
Yeah.
So we kind of got started in January. That's when everything kind of got finished up to
This
where
is
we
new.
could. Yes, it's brand spanking new. As soon as we got here, we just started to seed everything. Everything we do, we grow from seeds. A lot of the tribal members have brought us seed. So that's
Wow.
a great thing that we can share with them.
Yeah.
We're eventually going to start a seed bank.
Oh,
So
cool.
that's a very big thing for us and for the tribe. So we're shooting for that. It's going to take a little bit to get there because you have to have the proper, building for that.
Yeah.
So we want it to be all good, and brand new, and no chances of mold and anything
Yeah.
like that. So we're working on that. A lot of the
Seed
things.
saving's huge.
Our first batch of beans and corn and things like that, we actually harvested just for the seed. That way we have our own, and the less money you have to spend on things. That's what this is all about. It's all about food sovereignty,
All right.
and being self-sufficient.
Yeah.
Anything we can do to help the tribe along with better nutrition. We have a CARES Act that helps us take care of a lot of that. They donate a lot of money to us. They come out and work with us once in a while, and their donations have helped the tribe immensely. So anything we can do to help them out, like they're helping us out. This greenhouse, this is about a 42,000 square foot greenhouse. We have 8 bays. There are 4 bays on this side and 4 bays on the other side. The other side we are waiting to get planted up. We're hoping to start a Dutch bucket system, which is growing in perlite and water,
Oh,
no
cool.
soil.
Uh-huh.
So we're kind of waiting to set our tables up at the same time. We don't want to fill the bays up with plants and have to move everything and do all that. So once we get our tables up, we'll start the Dutch bucket system in there and go from there.
So you're doing a lot of different kinds of
Yeah,
growing.
yeah. Anything
Wow.
we can do to kind of change it up and feel out what works for us.
Mhm.
Just because a chef says he wants something doesn't mean that he'll always use it that way. So it's hard to get cooks to understand how harvest works
Yeah.
You know, you harvest cabbage in the spring, but I can't keep harvesting it for you. Once it's harvested, that's it. It's a
Yeah.
cool weather plant. So things
Yeah.
like that, just kind of have to work with everybody, and so everybody gets the feel of it.
Wow.
This bay, this is about the third round of seeding we've done since January.
Okay.
We've already harvested, cleaned the plants out, and started over at least twice.
Wow.
These are beans. We're growing beans, and these will be for harvest, and most likely go to the elders and to the schools. Those are our first, that's where we go first, is the elders, the schools. We are making a little bit of cash from the chef at the
Gotta love
Chef
Chef
E.
E.
He's awesome.
Yes, he is.
So we he will take anything.
Yes, he will.
He will
It's
come in
awesome.
here, and he loves everything,
Yeah.
and he's very enthusiastic, and he has a lot of great ideas. He's helping us along with things like that. He's been about every other week we send him off with fresh produce and
That's
herbs and microgreens and things like that.
That's really cool.
So
Primarily, it's for the tribe,
primarily
like the elders, and then kids at schools,
schools,
and just right into the
casinos.
infrastructure.
Right,
Of the,
and hopefully, you know, with our aquaponics system, we'll have an abundance
That is
of
so
greens
exciting.
and things like that. So we have a gentleman inside, Jason, that works on that, on trying to sell what we will have in the future
yeah.
and making a little bit of profit. We can't really
Yeah.
profit for 2 years because
Yeah.
of grant money,
Mhm.
but we're halfway there now.
We want
So
it to be sustainable. So
Exactly.
in the future, it's got to pay for
That's
itself
right.
somehow.
That's right.
That's
We
cool.
don't have a whole lot of employees, which is good, because you know how winter times get. Not out in
Yeah.
the crops, you're more in the greenhouse.
Yeah.
So we're okay with being a small crew, and it's a lot of hands-on, and you can include everybody, even you know the maintenance kids who take care of the weed eating and the mowing. They're still part of seeding and harvesting. Every now and then I'll catch them out back taking care of whatever's going on in that crop, and so it's good to be a small crew here.
Do you guys plan on growing through the winter? Because
Oh,
people
yes.
don't like. That's a big deal in Oklahoma. Because
Right.
it's like a jungle in the summer,
Right.
with the cicadas singing and everything,
Yes.
and then in the winter everything's brown and it looks completely dead.
Yes.
And it's hard to believe that
Yeah,
food
but
grows here.
this
and there's
greenhouse
a lot of,
will be full.
yeah, it's gonna be
Completely.
awesome.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of food desert areas around. Like you'd think there's a lot of land and there's a
Yeah.
lot of sun and there's
Right.
good water too.
Yep.
But there's also a lot of just that lost
Yep.
commitment to growing your own food, and so that's humongous.
Yeah, here is a lot of rock, a lot of clay.
Yeah. Like real clay.
Like
not
real
the clay we
like
used to
so
put in
bad.
Illinois.
When the soil is saturated here, you know how it'll bubble up
Yeah.
for air. It
Yeah.
bubbles clay.
Yeah.
So
Like we need a pottery
Yes,
studio
yes,
on the side.
yes. And
After
since we
dark.
just started this January, we will be amending the soil all around us because it's very swampy here.
Oh yeah.
And unfortunately, when that happens, your soil just suffocates
Yeah.
your roots
Uh-huh.
when it does dry
Yeah.
up. So we're going to have to do a lot of work, and
One
we're
extreme
hoping
or
to
the
work
other.
with the rodeo grounds and get all their horse manure.
Yeah.
If we can get a hold of that, we can let it sit for about 6 months.
Mhm.
That'd be great. That would help us a lot, and not have to pay
Yeah.
because they're always trying to find a place to get rid of it.
Yeah.
We've got the spot.
You're using the
so
resources that
That's
are
right.
there.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Anything we can do to stay in our area and help others.
So
as they
what's
help
your
us.
background in like horticulture?
I've done
growing?
this for 28 years straight. I can't imagine doing anything else. I started with a very small hometown grocer greenhouse,
Okay.
and that was at Lake of the Ozarks. And before here, I came from the Quapaw tribe, and basically started up their greenhouses, about 7 of them, and we had raised beds. And what we did though was just specifically for the casino.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, so this is a lot different. I don't have to deal with the casinos. This is more along the lines of I have other people who take care of where it's going to go and how much we're going to take and what we can sell. And
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the tribe's dealing with the infrastructure
That's
of
right.
getting the food out. You just
Yes.
get to grow it.
That's right.
Like
That's
garden
right.
history.
We do a lot of tours. A lot of
Yeah.
them come out, and we're hoping to start up a farmer's market at the front entrance.
Woo!
We're hoping to start
Awesome.
a community garden. They've had issues with a community garden in the past, but when you start up a community garden, you have to understand that not everybody's going to want to get out and do that. They're, you know, they think the community is going to take care of these weeds. Well, probably not.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be you.
It's like growing the community.
That's right.
And
that's
the garden.
Right. That's right. That's right. It's a learning experience, and if someone wants to be a part of it, or they want to bring children out for a day, or maybe once a month to learn how it starts, how it's in the middle, harvest, how you end, things like that. So we're working with a lot of people in the tribe, and that's what this is all about.
So it's educational as well.
Yes, very much so.
All right.
So over here we started squash. This is delicata squash. Up on the other end is zucchini. Of course, our tomatoes, and now these tomatoes are about out of here. In the future, we will be, stakes don't usually work on tomatoes that long. So eventually we will be tied to these bars up here with string, and then just clip the tomatoes as they grow. They'll last a little bit longer.
So like the one stem wrapped around the string method?
Yeah, actually we'll clip it with little clips, and they'll just grow up the string.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's how we did it back at Pawpaw, and the harvest is always
So
good.
you don't have to deal with vine borers or squash bugs?
Not in here, not so far.
Not so
now
far.
that doesn't mean that it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Yesterday I pulled probably about 18 worms off one tomato.
Oh, like the hornworms?
Not the hornworms, just the little worms. And but they'll devour you in one night, and you have to keep your eye on bugs. Even though you can start out with a clean house, they come in from somewhere. That's why we try not to buy plants or bring anything from the outside. Everything we do is from seed. That way we can keep track of our own bugs. And it's a daily process. You go through and you look and you check, and then you try to get them with anything natural you can.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, do you guys do any sprays or pesticides or things like that?
We do, but we try to stick on the natural side.
As minimal as possible, kind of?
Yeah, you can't really call us organic because we do use fertilizers and things like that. But yeah, in a greenhouse you kind of have to. It's a necessity for sure. But we try to do everything as natural as we can.
Are you guys going to grow stuff outside too?
Oh,
you have a large, so it's just one step at a time.
Out back we already have crops going. We lost a lot of them to a 2-foot groundhog who just devoured me, turned our squash and our zucchini into boats. We had 9 watermelons. We were so happy. One day we come back, he already ate them all.
What happens when you make good soil? You're like,
so the maintenance kids, the farm techs are out actually setting traps and putting up some live wire. Things will be a lot different next year. We have to protect ourselves, otherwise we're wasting our time, our seed, and everything else. So you kind of got to tend to those things first before you can really move on.
Yeah, totally. So this is the inside of the vent that's wet, like you were talking about.
Right.
All right.
And it drips the water and just keeps recirculating, and then the fan pulls the cool air through.
Very cool.
And the good thing about this system, that this is like top of the line.
Yeah, I'm like, this is really high tech.
Really
I don't even want to ask how much it costs because it would probably scare me.
Yeah, I don't even think I want to ask, but it's very self-sustainable, and that's what we want it to be.
You want it to be long-term.
Yes, we want it to take care of itself, and the computer system that runs this really does all that. It's temperature, what's happening outside, what it needs to be inside. And basically the only thing we're waiting for right now is our shade cloth to be fixed.
Oh, okay.
They're kind of getting caught up in the motors, so we're going to have to wait for new motors, but we'll definitely have to have that when time change, because the curtains will always be open in time change. And we don't have lights in here. Eventually we will, but that's still another...
So kind of through the winter, just to give it that extra, so you have year-round growing.
We'll have to add about 3 hours in the evening and 3 hours in the morning just to keep everybody going. And that's a simple thing, no worries. So these are all our peppers. We're trying different ones this year, things I haven't grown before. These are chocolate habaneros.
Oh my goodness.
And there are some down here that are changing.
So do they turn chocolate brown?
Oh yeah.
They sure do. Wow.
And we have harvested a few of these already.
Are they like habaneros, super spicy?
Shoot, yeah, girl. Set your mouth on fire now. I ain't even kidding. But they've done really good. Normally we would try to start them out in bigger pots. But we're doing okay in the pots that they're in. By the time we harvest, The jalapenos at the other end, we've already harvested twice, and we'll be harvesting a third time here pretty soon. We've harvested bell peppers, about 55 pounds of those just in this house.
What are these?
These are a Brazilian star pepper.
Are
Right.
these the ones we're growing? No, different. I lived in Brazil for a little bit. So
Did you?
like, we
They
love
just
growing
remind me
their
of little
fruit.
patty pan
They
squash.
do.
They're
Yeah,
just
they got
as
the
cute as they
scalloped
can be.
eggs.
Yep.
And,
And they're
Oh.
these will turn red.
yeah.
And then
one's starting.
when you, I think with these, this is a new one for us too. You're either going to get a hot pepper or a sweet pepper
Yeah.
when you bite into it.
Yeah. The Pequeño Brazilian ones are kind of similar. They're sweet
Right.
at first, and then they just kick you.
That's
and you're
what I
like,
heard. That's what I heard. So we're having a lot of fun with these.
Wow, those are awesome.
A lot of bell peppers. They're just starting to turn. These will be red, yellow, and orange.
Wow. They're seriously the biggest plants I've seen in Oklahoma.
And they're really doing good for the
Yeah.
size pot that we put them in. We haven't had to pollinate these, so they've been doing really well. And the taller ones at the back are full of jalapenos. And like I said, this will be going on our third harvest for these.
So, and that's why you do them all in the pots, is because you're rotating so many
Right.
different. There's no
Right.
point in
Once
putting-
it's done, you start your seed and you're ready to have something to plant right behind it when this is done. And a lot of the times you can, when you're done with these, you know, you can throw them out in the compost pile. Mother Nature helps you out,
You
and
might
you're,
get another
you're
harvest.
harvesting again.
Yeah.
So there's compost piles. I can't brag about them enough.
That's cool.
They are very helpful.
Yeah.
Very helpful.
It's like the ultimate successional planting.
Yes, it really is.
Like, yeah. I mean, really gorgeous.
This is the Dutch bucket system.
Okay, I've never seen that. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
they will have drip lines in them, water circulating, kind of like hydroponics, but it'll be,
But the fish won't be in it.
Right.
So, that's aquaponics.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
so we got all the system that came with that, the drip lines and everything. So that's what's going to be filled up in there once we get these crazy tables set up.
Yeah.
That's what all those are.
Oh, okay. Wow.
But this is our little compost pile we got out here going right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that's
Just dumping it, and then
but
you
you
got
see-
volunteers.
But yeah, you can see
That's all.
cucumbers, tomatoes, all kinds of things have already popped up.
Yeah.
On the other side of this tree line here,
Okay.
we do have a gigantic pile of soil, and that's
Oh,
going to
okay.
be great for us. People keep bringing their soil.
Mhm.
I think this is going to be used for something else, Osage property somewhere. But sometimes they'll bring it to us, and they used a lot of it for the movie,
Yeah.
for the
for the streets?
roads. Yep.
Nice.
But we'll be using that to kind of build up a little bit
Really?
here and there. We are going to have some ponds that will help us with water.
Catching and storing it.
That's right.
Right on.
A lot of the water from the top of the greenhouse goes right out here, so we're
Mhm.
gonna lead it right to the creek
Nice.
or the ponds, whichever
Yeah.
we can get going.
Very cool.
Out here, Cody started some corn. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but
It's like tall grass.
yeah,
corn.
yeah, it is corn,
Yeah.
sweet corn,
Cool.
and red corn, sweet corn and red corn, I believe. Yeah. And then on the other side, we have a pumpkin patch planted up close to the
Nice.
fence. The Osage chief really enjoys getting with the children and letting them come out and harvest pumpkins.
Mhm.
So we're doing that for the kids, and that should be great. And we've actually started some more. We have plenty of time, so
Yeah.
they'll do great.
Oh, that's amazing.
A couple more interns. Some of our where are they at? Okay, this might be Andrew you saw inside.
Hi.
This is Belle.
Multitask.
So we got a little calcium deficiency, and some of our peppers get the little brown
Yep.
spots on them. So we're cutting the brown spot out, chopping up the rest of the pepper, and selling them to the chef.
Nice.
Right?
Pre-chopped and everything.
Harvested our kohlrabi this morning.
Wow.
They're pretty much done growing. I mean,
Yeah.
they stopped getting to their size.
Yeah.
And we're gonna clean these up and see if the chef wants the young foliage. Back at Quapaw, the chefs would use the younger foliage, and now Chef E, he's more natural to where, you know.
Yeah.
But the other chefs would cook this in pork fat. Shut up. Oh my gosh, yum. It was the best greens I ever ate in my life. But this is
You're
where
like,
we come
healthy?
in and
Yes.
right, and we weigh everything here on the scales.
Yeah.
We have this great kitchen processing area. Eventually, we will have
This is a serious commercial kitchen.
a washing machine. So
Okay.
the washing machine will come basically between these two sinks where that table is, and come all the way out to here.
Whoa.
And this is a washing machine where you'll be able to cut your head of lettuce, drop it, it'll chop it, wash it, rinse it, do it again, spin it, bag it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's quite the process.
That's amazing.
We've been looking at those, and so
That's
yeah.
going to cut out a lot of hours.
It really will, because with the aquaponics, the size of the aquaponics, we're
You're
gonna
gonna need it.
yeah, we're gonna need it. And the less people we have to pay, the better off we are. So if we have a machine that'll help us out and do that clean and
Yeah.
keep everything safe.
That's
what we're doing.
amazing.
A lot of these things, this is the blue corn and red
That's
corn that he
beautiful.
did. He's, we're gonna use these for seeds. so.
Yeah. So you're just drying it
yeah.
out, saving the seed.
The blue corn is beautiful this year.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
And this is the
I
what?
heard it also is that the same as the glass corn?
I don't know. College kid is the one.
Okay.
He had to go save his baby.
Okay.
But he actually studied corn in
Oh,
college,
really?
so he's quite knowledgeable about
That
it.
is
and
awesome.
He's actually teaching me a few things because when we grew corn, we fought coons and squirrels.
Yeah, we don't
and
grow corn anymore
that
because
was me.
raccoons would ruin our
They
entire
kept asking
garden.
me how much corn we growing this year, and I said nothing.
Yeah.
We're not growing no corn.
It keeps them out. when
I'm
you
not
don't-
fighting with the critters, but
Yeah,
we're doing pretty good so far. And,
that's awesome.
and these up here is what we grew earlier. And like I said, we kind of try to hold on to things so that we can reseed on our own without purchasing more.
Yeah.
So these are just things that we've already grown. This was our first batch actually in the greenhouse.
Nice.
And the corn, this is going to be for the hominy.
Wow.
And yeah, we've had a lot of fun. We did some black-eyed peas.
Cool. So have you found that when you're using your own seed, like it's second generation and stuff, and it's adapted to the climate and conditions, that it grows better the
It
next
really
year? Have
does.
you seen it? Like we've
Yes.
noticed that.
Yes.
We've spent like 3 years now
Yes.
saving our own seed, and that's all we
It's-
want to use.
yes.
Like it, because it can withstand the pests
That's right.
and the climate and
That's right.
whatever Oklahoma likes to throw at it.
Yeah.
It's got a better survival rate because
Exactly.
it's already been through it.
It's been doing great.
Yeah, that's
So
awesome.
we're really excited about next year and using our own
'Cause they'll
seed
be-
and things we've already harvested.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're really excited about the seed bank, getting started on the seed bank.
That's huge.
That's gonna
Are you
be
going to
great.
get different machines that sort it out and do all
Yeah,
that?
oh yeah, oh yeah, we'll have
and
to have that.
bag it?
Yeah,
you make-
eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, at first it'll probably be
You'll just
hands-on, and
re-
that's what students are for. Yeah,
Very cool. I think you're going to need more students.
I think so too. We only get them for about 8 weeks, so. And they send them to us in the heat of the summer.
You're
And
like,
I'm like, you gotta understand, man. It's
like a survival
You
test.
can send me a farmer or forget it.
you had to go to another classroom.
This is our director, Jan.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Sheffy actually sent her. She's the one that showed up in the bus the other day.
Yes,
Pulled up
yes.
on the bus.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
This is her husband. And
Hi,
we're
nice
just
to meet you.
Kind of filming a little tour.
Oh, okay.
And this is
Yeah.
Miss Kara. She
Yeah.
does the water
Hi.
testing and the
Oh,
ordering.
awesome.
This is our water testing lab.
Very
They go
cool.
out local areas and get water samples and test it, and it'll also be for the aquaponics.
That's amazing.
So we can test the water. We'll take you out here. Right in here is the aquaponics.
Wow.
We're actually waiting for our fish to arrive.
I've never seen aquaponics before, so I'm
Oh.
like,
This is a pretty big system.
not like in a,
This isn't
This
just
is like a backyard
no.
table.
It's not a normal, regular sized aquaponics. It's pretty good size. That's why I say when it comes time to harvesting, we're going to be looking at every day
Yeah.
harvesting. These tanks up here will hold all the fish. The ones you see with nets will hold all the fish. And your water just keeps circulating. The fish will feed the plants. The oxygen will feed the fish. Blah, blah, blah. So it's
Wow.
great.
So it's all one system.
Yes.
So you don't have to add anything. Once
Right.
it's set, you just
Right.
keep taking from it.
Right.
And it
You'll have to,
replenishes.
eventually we'll have to keep adding water
Yeah.
daily, because
Yeah,
the plants will
evaporation
drink it
and
up, right?
Yeah.
And then this is the old aquaponics system that they had down in the little garage.
Okay.
And this will be for fingerlings, so we can grow our own fish and don't have to keep purchasing them, because we will be selling the fish.
That's the start, and then the
That's right.
finished product will be over here?
Yeah.
Nice.
Because
what kind of fish are you going to?
Probably whatever they can give us. Okay. We had a big order, and they're saying no, because we were really shooting for crappie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And apparently that's a thing, so we didn't get it. Catfish, tilapia, things like that.
Okay, that's awesome.
Whatever they send us. We're right at this point, we're fixing to go fishing and bring our own fish in.
You're like, we're just going to catch them?
Yeah. So this down here, the tables down there, is where things will get seated and start.
All right.
And everything goes in these little rock wools.
Oh, wow.
This is just rock wool. And this will be started down there and have a little start in it, and then we'll pull it up and we'll bring it down here, drop it in here, and it will do its thing.
So pardon my ignorance, does the seed go in there or the start?
So
you just plop the seed in it gets started, and then after it has a little root on it and a little green, it goes in.
It'll go in here and finish up.
That is amazing.
Yeah, that's just for the starter end of it, and then they'll end up here. And so what we will do here is probably say maybe 6 or 7 deep, and we will harvest all this in one day.
Wow.
And then before we put these back in, we will push all of that up and take these to the back.
And that's how you'll keep track of the system.
That's
Just
right.
Wow.
And I don't know if you've ever grown in any kind of hydroponics or aquaponics, but it's fast.
Yeah.
I mean, and
we've eaten stuff before, and it's got a kind of a different flavor.
It
like
does.
It's extra dense.
Yes.
I don't know, like you can taste. It tastes like a vitamin.
Right. Well, when we grew in hydroponics. We didn't have fish, and when we grew lettuce, we kind of started out with a do-it-yourself, build a box, put some water in it, and some Epsoms and some fertilizer, and we got styrofoam, cut our own holes, and started it that way. Best lettuce I ever had. Yeah. It was sweet. It was fresh. It didn't have the earth taste to it. It was amazing. Wow. So we'll see how this. I've not done actually aquaponics.
And you'll be
fish,
selling this at farmers market?
Oh, bet.
Oh my gosh, we're coming.
Yes.
We're buying lettuce.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be selling it everywhere.
Yeah, so that's going to be amazing.
This is a lot.
And when it tastes good, you want to eat it. It changes everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when it's local, that's even better. When you know it's not coming on a refrigerated truck. Yeah. And it's been in this state and that state, and it's right here, hands-on, goes right to you. So we're shooting for that. Children will start out young. Yep. And the elders are all about vegetables. So
that's so cool.
It's just the in-betweens. We're trying to help out with those. Just like the community garden thing. Yeah. They're worried about people. I guess they've done it before, and not a lot of people came. And you have to understand there's a lot of
discouragement.
That's
and
right.
Stuff.
And especially if they're depressed and they're having issues, they're not going to get out. You've got to help them learn how to do it at home. Maybe just a container garden at home. So keep it simple. Just give them a tomato and a pepper. Right. Yeah. Let them learn and let them watch. Once they harvest that, that's where it starts.
Yeah. Yeah, because you have to love it enough to go outside here. Like nobody's doing this because it's like I'm going to learn. I'm going to take on this hobby in the.
Yes, and it's a family thing too. If you can get the kids involved, the elders, anybody to help out, it's a great thing. That's how I learned picking green beans.
That's amazing.
When I was a kid. This is our distillery. Woo. So we're excited about this. We do have to have someone come in and teach us what we're doing, and hopefully we can put our pawpaws and the elderberries to use in something like this.
Exciting.
I have grown hops in my past. When I worked for the Quapaw tribe, they started up their own beer. They had 3 beers, and I grew the hops for that.
That's
and
amazing.
I harvested the honey for that. And so anything you can do to keep it all in one.
Keep it here.
Yeah. Everything
Using
that we can
stuff.
do, it's great.
Yeah, we like doing fruit wines, being from Oregon.
Right.
And stuff,
Yeah,
so we like to do wine but this is amazing.
Yeah.
And the fact that you said like you could do hand sanitizer if the need comes. It's not just one thing.
That's
There's a
the
lot of
initial
diversity
part.
with this.
I think they want to start out with the hand sanitizers, being is what we're going through. This way we can distribute it to the casinos who use tons of it and not have to purchase it. Just get it from here and
That's amazing. Yeah.
really the only building they had before all this got built. And this is where the aquaponics was. And then there's like a kitchen area over there. So,
that's the nursery?
huh?
That's the nursery.
This is what's left over, because when we planted all that out there, it was January. And because when I got here, I mean, that stuff was just piled up everywhere. And I'm like, why isn't this planted? Let's go.
Yeah.
And we did. Everybody jumped in, and I mean, those boys got that stuff planted in no time flat.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
these are still a few of our,
These are the pawpaw, right?
Yep.
And then the elderberry.
Right. We got
Yeah.
all this elderberry and all of those elderberries. Elderberries, I'm kind of trying to stay away from planting close to the walking path because I don't want them picking them before they're ready and getting an upset belly.
Yeah.
But we do have pecans and walnuts and some choke cherries, things like that. He's already taken some stuff and planted them, so yeah, we just kind of stay in here and keeping them watered and take care of them. We'll plant them this fall here pretty quick.
Yeah.
Let Mother Nature help us take care of it instead
Yes.
of in the drought of summer.
I was gonna say it's kind of like almost you're setting up a foraging system.
Yes.
Like it's a food forest.
Right.
But like with good path and
Yes.
well planned.
Yes, and we're gonna have little
and stuff
signs
and
to
to
let them
forage
know
and
what they're
what to
they're
do.
looking at and what they're. Yeah, I'm actually
That's
taking the
amazing.
students. This is their last week, and our last day trip is tomorrow, and that's what we're gonna go out and I'm gonna show them
so
a
cool.
few things. I already taught them about the wild yuccas and what you can do with those, and so tomorrow we'll have a little foraging up at Osage Hills and take them swimming for the day and things like that.
So thank you so much
You're welcome.
for letting a random person show up.
No
and be
worries,
Like, show
no
me
worries.
around," and stuff. It's amazing. So for people to contact Harvestland if they want to know more about the education or workshops or just what you guys are doing, even
That
if
email.
this email, which we'll put up later and stuff, but also I just searched Harvestland, Pawhuska, Oklahoma, and was able
Right.
to see a lot.
Right. And
stuff,
we are
so-
on Facebook. We
Oh,
have
cool.
just started up a page on Facebook. We haven't done a lot of activity yet, but we had just started it up. So as we move along, we'll put up our classes,
Okay, cool.
farmers market, anything like that.
Oh, we're so coming to those. That's
Good,
going to be
good,
amazing.
good.
Well, thank you for doing such
Thank
really,
you for coming.
really
I
cool
appreciate
stuff.
it. I
You're
appreciate
amazing.
it.
And I hope
Thank
more
you.
people hunt you down and say, okay, now
Right?
show us how to do this.
Yes, yes.
stuff, 'cause
Thank you.
it's pretty
Thank
cool.
you. Takes a great team to make all this work. so
Yeah,
it
I
really
can't
does.
wait to come see it next year. Like, 'cause
Good.
every year it's going to be better and better.
Yes, yes. We will be bigger and better for
Cool.
sure.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Come back and see us.
We will. This is cool.